Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Courageous Chick. I'm Shakia Mayer, and I wanted to hop on to talk a little bit about my reflections on what's been going on, but also because I am who I am, I want to provide some sort of service, some resource, right? And so after um, me talking about some of the things that I've noticed, I want us to do a meditation together. Um, so I had been honestly not even focused on like what to say on this channel because of the recent events. Because if we are gonna, have an honest and open conversation, these events have been happening. These occurrences have been happening, and so it's not anything new. And just in case, for whatever reason, you are unclear on what exactly I'm talking about what we've been seeing in the media. I'm talking about the protests. I'm talking about the police brutality. Um, and so I didn't want to, I'm just sharing this. I didn't want to come on and talk about my anger, which might sound weird to some people because as these recent things have been happening, the recent images and videos of police brutality have surfaced, I felt myself becoming just extremely angry. Like, if we can just be open and transparent for a minute and bear with me. I'm getting to a point. I didn't take notes. Usually I have notes. I don't have any notes. So bear with me. But I found myself becoming angry, right? Because how can you not be angry when you literally watch somebody suffer and you see these images all the time? Right, this isn't anything new. As a person of color, as a woman of color, this isn't anything new. When Sandra Bland was murdered a number of years ago, I remember being the only Black clinician at my job, and nobody spoke about it. And we had clients who were Black, but nobody brought it up. Nobody wanted to have a discussion about it. So you walk around with these feelings and with these thoughts and with these emotions, and it's just layered because you're always seeing these types of images. And people are afraid to talk about it. And what does that do for the person who is the only person of color on their staff? I've been there several times. I've also been in classrooms where you're the only Black student in your classroom. And when it's time for you to talk about racial inequality, it gets quiet and people whisper the word Black. I don't want to go off on a tangent. My point is, it wasn't so much, and I hope this isn't taken the wrong way, it wasn't so much that this man died, that George Floyd died. It was the audacity of the officers, because all of them were at fault, who killed him. It was the audacity that you can have your knee pressed against this man's neck, and then the rest of your brothers are holding him down in front of people while you were being recorded. That's what stuck out to me the most, in all honesty, because it was literally watching a modern day lynching. If you know anything about history, which I'm sure you do, then you know they would round them up. They'd round up the slaves on the plantation, and everybody would watch as their friend, their loved one, was beaten and hung from a tree. They would watch the sexual assaults that happened because they forced them to. And that's what that felt like for me. And so I was filled with so much rage. So much rage. And I didn't know at that time, what to do with that. Because a lot starts to happen and all these thoughts start to run through your mind. Like, yo, what's the next move? And so before I got on social media and before I made any comments on social media, and I had posted to my personal page, you know, some of the screenshots of things that were going on and quotes and things like that. But I try to be, I don't go along with the masses, right? I have my own thoughts and opinions, and I want to make sure that what I say to you, it comes from me, not because of what I'm conditioned to believe or what somebody would want me to believe or say. And so I realized, because of the anger and the rage I was feeling and had been feeling for years as you watch these incidents occur, because it didn't start with George Floyd, right? It's the men and women who we watch take their last breath. It's the little boys and girls who don't get to grow up to be men and women because somebody decided to take their lives, right? Or somebody decided that their lives weren't even worth having. So the rage has been there. So me, and probably because I'm a Pisces, we watch and we observe, and I research and I listen, but I had to go inward. And so that's the point of today. It's not because I want to start a revolution, I want to start a revolt. It's happening. The revolt is happening, right? Because it's only but for so long that you can be silent. And I'm not going to go out there and tell anybody to go do anything. I believe we all have different roles that we can play in changing things. And that's the purpose of this video. We have this emotion, we have this rage, we have this frustration, we have this anger because we're human. But we have to learn how to turn that now into logic and reason. We have to turn that now, the emotion, we have to turn it into a behavior that's going to create change. So that might mean sitting in a room and drafting up policy, right? That might mean, for some people on the front lines, marching and protesting and speaking outwardly about these issues. We all have a role to play, but we have to be mindful of what that role is. We want to, and again, I'm not saying, I don't want anybody to think I'm condemning the protesters, because I'm not. And we have to take these moments and turn them into movements, right? You have to take that pain, that suffering, and now turn it into action that's going to turn this whole thing around. And it's not going to be perfect, and it's not going to feel good. And that means we're also going to have these uncomfortable conversations and discussions. And now take those conversations and discussions, and based off of those, come up with some sort of solution. We need a plan. So, let me center myself. Yes, boiling rage. And that's where I was, if we can be fully transparent. So my point is, I had to go inward, and I had to get centered, because we can't create effective change if we're only working from emotion mind. And so just like I teach my clients, we have to get into wise mind, where we have to combine our emotions and combine that rational mind, and now get into a place where we are fully present and able to show up and create change. So again, in no way, shape, or form am I telling anybody that you shouldn't be angry. Hell yeah. How could you watch this stuff year after year, week after week, and not be angry? And for those of you who come from a place of privilege, and you may not understand this rage, the thing is, I don't need you to understand it, because in some regards, you will never understand what it is like to be a person of color living in America. But if you consider yourself an ally, I need you to empathize and now use your privilege to be an ally. How can you help? How can you stand beside your brother or sister to create change? And you might not get the rage, and that's okay. But how can you help? So I had to go inward. And that's what I want us to take a few moments to do. I don't have all the answers, and I'm not pretending to have all of the answers. If I did, then I would have been able to create, more change on a larger scale than what I do in my everyday work. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that none of you will ever know about, right? And that's okay, because again, we all have a part to play in creating this change. But that's going to also start with ourselves, so that again, we can get centered, so that we can get grounded and be in a place to be able to strategize effectively, to plan effectively, to show up effectively. It has to go beyond the demonstrations. What else can be done? Because again, the change is it has to happen in boardrooms. It has to happen when in the development meetings, when they're talking about building another prison. It has to happen in the school system. Like it has to happen in all of these different areas. So again, I want us to practice going inward, okay? And this is just my little old tiny contribution to showing up and providing some sort of resource or value. I wanted us to do this meditation. It's called the loving kindness meditation. Some of you may have heard it. You might be familiar with it. Back where I used to work at this organization, and we would teach it when we were teaching compassion, because it helps you to have that compassion, practice self-compassion, but also extend that compassion to other people. And I believe that's what we need right now. And in no way, shape, or form am I talking about kumbaya. I'm not. That's unrealistic. But I am talking about starting to take the steps so that we can work together, and so that we can be present and create effective and lasting change. And I believe in energy. I believe energy is powerful. So the more of this type of energy that we send out into our communities, the more healing can start to take place. The more mindful we can become. Sometimes at my job, they make jokes because I'm always talking about mindfulness. For me, it is the foundation of getting yourself together. So, okay, with that said, if you are watching live, thanks for watching, and thanks for listening to my rant a little bit, or my reflections. Like I said, I'm not trying to come from a place of anger, and that's why I didn't come on initially when a lot of these incidents have been happening. Because if I'm angry, that anger isn't going to do anything right now. And so I wanted to be able to come where I was a little more grounded, and I can help in some way. So for those of you who are interested, again, this is a loving kindness meditation. I am going to read from a script that I have for this meditation, just so that I stay on track, because even as I start talking, I start to feel some of those emotions. And so I know I need to ground myself as well, because again, we are all human, right? And we're not robots. So we're going to feel those emotions. So with that said, this meditation can be done in any position. It begins by taking a moment to be aware of any thoughts or feelings you might be experiencing right now. So if you are in a place where you can sit, I'm going to ask that you have a seat. If you are parked somewhere, maybe turn off the radio and just listen to my words for the next few minutes. And I want you to start by taking a deep breath. So inhale and exhale. Exhale through your mouth as if you are blowing up a balloon or blowing through a straw. And in this moment, acknowledging how things are for you right now. When you are ready, I want you to begin to bring your awareness to your body. And I want you to start to relax your body from the crown of your head to your face, your jaw, your lips, your neck, your shoulders, your abdomen, your arms, your fingers, your thighs, your calves, your feet, and your toes. And you can sit upright and have your feet planted firmly on the ground beneath you. Beginning to feel the movement of your breath, the actual sensations of your breathing. reminding yourself that you are here, alive, and whole. When you're ready, you might bring to mind the image of a person who you know or who you've known in your life to be loving and kind to you. Someone who easily evokes feelings of warmth and love. It can be a spouse, a partner, a parent, a family member, a child, a mentor, or a close friend. Someone who has been good to you, who helps you to feel safe and whole, whose caring easily comes from them to you. And if a person, past or present, doesn't come to mind, that's okay. Maybe there's someone who you know to be inspirational. Maybe they come to mind. Imagine them sending wishes of well-being. Imagine you now sending them wishes of well-being. And when it feels right, I want you to repeat these phrases. May you be happy, healthy, and whole. Picturing them receiving your wishes for them. May you have love, warmth, and affection. May you be protected from harm and free from fear. May you be alive, engaged, and joyful. May you experience inner peace and ease. Just notice how it feels inside of you as you send out these wishes of well-being to this person you love or care about. When you're ready, seeing if you can imagine this person or figure wishing these very same things for you. Knowing that they have your well-being in their heart, imagining them saying to you, may you be happy, healthy, and whole. May you have love, warmth, and affection in your life. May you be protected from harm and free from fear. May you be alive, engaged, and joyful. May you experience inner peace and ease. Allow those feelings to wash over you, feeling their unconditional love and caring for you. Letting the feelings of love and safety grow in you, knowing there is nothing you have to do to deserve these feelings and wishes, that they are given freely without condition. Seeing if you can connect to the meaning of these phrases, even if you might not feel all that safe and warm right now, that's okay. Knowing that is their wish for you, and now seeing if you can have these wishes for yourself. Hearing yourself say to yourself, and repeat after me, may I be happy and healthy and loved. May I be safe and protected. May I be alive and free. May I experience inner peace and ease. And now I want us to do this for our communities and for the entire world right now. And it might be difficult, and that's okay. So we're going to, as we can, as best as we can, we're going to send out this same loving and kind energy out to our communities, our families, and the world. So do as you did before and repeat after me. May you be happy and healthy and loved. May you be safe and protected, free from suffering. May you be alive, engaged, and joyful. And may you have inner peace and ease. And you can say to yourself, just like me, they want to feel happiness and joy. Just like me, they want peace and ease. And they want to be loved and to know their loved ones are safe and healthy. And just like me, they are doing the best they can with what inner and outer resources they have. Take another deep breath in and exhale. And now, as this loving kindness meditation comes to an end, taking time to appreciate and feel what's been generated through this practice. And even if there have been difficult parts of this practice, knowing that this practice has the potential to increase your sense of aliveness, of connection, and of belonging. We are all connected. I know it doesn't feel that way, but we are all connected. And when you are ready, letting yourself feel again your physical presence, sensations of your body, your feet, your seat, your upper torso, your neck, your head. Wiggle your fingers. Beginning to notice the movement of your own breath. Bringing aliveness and nourishment to your body as a whole. Just as your wishes of good will bring aliveness and nourishment to those around you. I hope that you, whether you are watching live or on the replay, that you were able to practice this meditation. And even if it doesn't feel all that great in the beginning, that's okay. There's no judgment. Practice it again on your own time and see what sensations and thoughts and feelings you start to experience. Remember, this meditation isn't going to take away all of the pain and all of the suffering, but it's going to help you in this moment of pain and suffering, of outrage and anger. And that's what we want. In this moment, let's take care of ourselves. In this moment, let's make sure that we are wishing ourselves safety and protection and ease, and extending that again to our loved ones, and extending that even greater to our communities, and then extending that even more to the entire world. Energy is powerful. Energy is powerful. And the things that we say is powerful. And so I know there's a lot of hurt going on. And so we might say some things that we don't necessarily want to hold on to. Right? Abracadabra, with my words, or as with my words I create. So what I was saying was, I'm not sure if you were able to hear me or not, but be mindful of the words that you speak. In Christianity, and I'm going to attempt to quote the Bible, my bad guys, but in Christianity, there's, to my knowledge, there is a scripture that says life and death is in the power of the tongue. And then there are other spiritual spiritual practices that says your words are like spells. Be mindful of what you speak, right? And so again, because of the energy that we're in, let's be mindful of what we speak, and let's be mindful of the thoughts we hold on to and the emotions we hold on to, because we want to be able to show up and have a healthy well-being while also creating change. I'm not saying to ignore. Feel it because you're human. Acknowledge it and allow yourself to release some of those feelings. Sometimes we choose to hold on to them for different reasons. This is no judgment. This is just a practice that you can use if you are ready to start to release some of that energy. Okay, I will keep talking about this forever because I love, as I said before, I love mindfulness, and I love doing this, and I want to be able to help from my zone of genius, and this is what I know. And so again, it's okay if you have those emotions. Practice going inward now. Practice going inward so that we can now use some logic and some reasoning to create change. All right, so this video, it keeps getting interrupted. I'm looking down on Facebook. So at this point, I will just end this and say thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Have a courageous day. And we will do this real soon.